Hey, welcome to Chapter 8, Lesson 3, Volume of Spheres. Our learning target or objective for this lesson is to find the volume of spheres. Our vocab words for this lesson, the first one is, believe it or not, sphere, a set of all points in space that are a given distance, known as the radius from a given point, known as the center. Once again, you may always pause the video to write down the definitions as we continue. And our second definition for this lesson is hemisphere. A circle separates a sphere into two congruent halves. Hopefully you know examples of each. A sphere is, an example would be a basketball or a globe of the earth. And then the hemisphere, you've seen the earth cut in half, either northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere or western or eastern hemispheres. That would be an example of a hemisphere. Okay, we're going to move on to our next slide, which is our key concept. Volume of a sphere. Words. The volume V of a sphere is 4/3 the product of pi and the cube of the radius r. Okay, in the symbols we see our formula. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. And then there's just a model of our sphere with our formula. Okay, we're going to move on right into some examples. How to find the volume of a sphere. Round to the nearest tenth of the sphere. Okay, once again, just like our cones and cylinders, we have our formula. 4/3 times pi, which I put in as 3.14, times our radius, which was 6, and we're cubing that. Once again, look on our formula, they're all together. That means operation is going to be multiplication. So when you plug in these into your calculator, 4/3 or 4ABC3 times 3.14 times 6 to the third power, we're going to get the volume is about 904.8 millimeters cubed. Once again, it's about, because we do have pi into our formula, so it's rounding, so the answer is about 904.8 millimeters cubed. Okay, let's jump on to our next example. A spherical stone in the courtyard of the National Museum of Costa Rica has a diameter of about 8 feet. Find the volume of the spherical stone round to the nearest tenth. Okay, and that is the actual stone from the Museum of Costa Rica. Okay, first thing I suggest always is to write down the formula. The more you write it, the more you'll remember. Now we're just going to plug in our information. And what they give us is the diameter. So we're going to have 4/3 times our pi, 3.14, times our radius. Well, they gave us a diameter of 8. Once again, the radius is half the diameter, so it's going to be 4 cubed. Punch that into your calculator once again. It's going to be 4ABC3 times 3.14 times 4 to the third power. And you are going to get about 268.1 cubed cubic feet. Just notice in this formula, there's only two variables. We have a volume or radius, so we're going to be solving for one or the other. Either they're going to give us the volume, or to move everything over to that side to find the radius, or they're going to give us a radius or a diameter, and we're going to solve for volume. Okay, moving on to our next example. A volleyball has a diameter of 10 inches. A pump can inflate the ball at a rate of 325 cubic inches per minute. How long will it take to inflate the ball? Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, first we're going to find out the volume of the volleyball. So once again, our formula, 4/3 pi r cubed. And they give us 4/3 times 3.14 times our radius. They give us a diameter of 10, so our radius is 5. cubed. Punch that in once again, 4abc3 times 3.14 times 5 to the third, and you're going to get about 523.6. But that's not what they're asking. They asked us how long will it take to inflate the ball. So here is what we need to do. We're going to write a proportion to find out how long it's going to take us to inflate the ball. So they gave us a rate of 325 cubic inches per minute, 1 minute. So then that's our ratio there. So now what we know, do we know how many minutes? No, that's what we're solving for. We have our cubic inches though, which is we just solved for in our volume, which is 523.6. So what we need to do here is our cross multiply and divide. Cross multiply 523.6 times 1, which is 523.6. And then you're going to divide that by 325, and x is going to equal 1.6 minutes. And there you have it. Okay, I believe we do have one more slide left in this lesson. Find the volume of the hemisphere, round to the nearest tenth. Okay, once again, I have our formula of a sphere, 4/3 pi r cubed. But they're not asking us for the whole sphere, they're only asking us for half of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in 1/2 of 4/3 pi r cubed. And solve from there. Because we're only taking half of what the whole sphere is the hemisphere. So we have 1/2 times 4/3 times our pi, 3.14, times our radius, 5 cubed. Okay, we punch that into our calculator, and we are going to get 1/2 in parentheses 1 ABC2 parentheses 4 ABC3 times 3.14 times 5 to the third power parentheses equals, and you're going to get 251.8 centimeters cubed. Okay, that is the last example for this lesson. If you have any questions, please review the video. Any points that you do not understand, write down any questions you do have, so we may go over them in class. And this concludes lesson 3.